This is a very normal thing AOC is doing. She put up here, and it's very normal, and I wouldn't even think much about it. It's just, she's just got a question to all the people who voted for Trump. Let's hear.
Which podcasts are you listening to? Which accounts are you subscribing to? I'm interested, like genuinely. Let me know which ones specifically, which accounts, which podcasts, etc.
Don't worry about that. It's just a sitting congresswoman wanting to know where you get your information.
What's her motive?
I think she's just curious, Charlie. I think she's just the type of person that goes, you know what? We need to better our reach with our constituents. Where are all these people listening? Now, of course, you could just go to, you can look at the ratings of sorts. There's podcast ranks out there. They're not perfect, but they're pretty dang close. Here's a hint. Joe Rogan's at the top. If you want to talk to like somewhere between 20 and 100 million people, that's a good place to start. Arguably more than that. I think between, like, not without Spotify, with just YouTube and X, between Rogan's posts and Elon's post, I think just those two things, he broke 120 million views. So, like, and then Spotify's on top of that, and, also audio only people are on top of that. So it's like, I'd start there.
But is she curious, or does she have a motive?
What are your thoughts on that, Charlie?
I mean, I'm smelling some censorship, but I don't know.
What? The government trying to shut down voices that they don't agree with? When has that ever happened yesterday?
Nobody's that curious.
No, I'm just curious, like, who you listen to, what accounts you follow. So if you can just, like, list everyone that you listen to and you voted for Trump, that would be helpful. It's like, cool. And, like, are you familiar with Media Matters?
Mm-mm.
Media Matters is largely funded by George Soros.
Great.
Yeah. So they're watchdogs for the media, right? So they look for corrupt media, bad media practices. Do you think they find much bad on MSNBC, Charlie?
Well, there should be no media then, if that's what their job is.
No. Most of it's fine. However, if you happen to not be in the Democrat camp, they see that you happen to be full of misinformation and racism and homophobia and transphobia and others. I don't know. There's isms in there. And so they get down with the isms, but they'll have some, all right, so like when Rush Limbaugh was alive, right? They would assign one or multiple people, and their job every day was to listen to the 3 hours of Rush Limbaugh's program, right?
Oh.
And then any time that something was said that could be controversial, they flag it, right? And then you got to clip it, and then you present it out of context, right? And so then you write a whole article about these 4 words and how it means you're racist or whatever. And then of course, all these shows, because of that, like all the big shows, all the big right-wing shows, was Limbaugh and Glenn Beck and Sean Hannity and these type of people. They made full transcripts available, like on their website, like in part because of these articles popping up. But in addition to just being able to like listen to the shows like for free pretty much all the time, they had text transcripts, but you just ignore those. So you just write a long article about how this person said this, and then that's the focus. And that's what Media Matters does. They also organize boycotts and lawsuits and things like that. And I believe Elon Musk is suing them right now because they were showing that Twitter's advertisers are advertising during neo-Nazi content.
Remember this? Yeah.
So they created an account, and they kept basically gaming the algorithm figuring out who to follow, figuring out, clicking on different things to see stuff. And eventually they were able to get an ad served to them that had hate speech. So their feed had some hate speech in there, followed by, Gillette, the best a man could get. Which I guess is probably not what they advertise these days. But and of course it was a deceptive thing in that you had to go out of your way to make sure your feed was largely hate speech to then get an ad to be served to you at that time. And, for Elon, he's a nerd with access to infinite Twitter data. And so he could go and look at the account, how it was created, what it did in order to manipulate this thing. But they organize boycotts. So they'll take stuff, they'll take a line or whatever, and they'll call up all the advertisers. And that's what Media Matters does too, is they write down who your advertisers are. And so they'll call up and say you're advertising for Ford, They go, hey, so Ford's comfortable advertising their vehicles alongside hate speech, trying to kill Hispanics? They go, well, what was that now? And so, you have a marketing department at a major corporation who's naturally just trying to sell, Fords, not trying to, change the world. And they go, yeah, how about this quote? And how about this quote? And they go, it's maybe we'll pull our ads. And a lot of these people don't even go, they don't call, hey, Rush Limbaugh, I'd like to advertise on you. Like some people do. But other people, they go, hey, ad agency, I would like to be placed in top-rated radio programs between these hours, anywhere, any top 10 show in all these markets. Go get it, because they're happy. Michael Jordan, Republicans buy shoes too. It's that mindset. We don't want 3 a.m. We want, 3 p.m. or whatever. And so they don't even know what shows they're on because they don't. They go, we don't care. As long as it's top 10, people are listening to it, we're cool. Top whatever. And so, suddenly they get called oh, you're being served up on this kind of hate. And so next thing you know, advertisers drop. That's why Fox News, everything's weird, buy gold and reverse mortgages and hearing aids and stuff. I mean, granted, their viewer base is probably in the market for hearing aids and all that. But that's also how it came to be. That's why you don't see certain brands that advertise everywhere else advertise on a Fox News. That's because of Media Matters. So I can't imagine why AOC would want to know what accounts and what shows people watch. It probably has nothing to do with advertising boycotts and punishing opposing points of view. And I think you're racist against Hispanics for even suggesting that, Charlie. Yeah, blame me for the show, will you? If you enjoyed that segment from the Loaded Talk podcast, please click below for the full episode and consider liking and subscribing. As always, you can go to loadedtalk.com to follow all things Loaded Talk.